Welcome back to the channel. My name is Alex and this is Garage to Home, where I'm working on converting this mechanic's garage into a single family home. Today we have a few things to knock out. You can see behind me there's still a few joists that I want to get up, and because other than this scrap here that I need to get rid of, this room is pretty much wide open compared to the other one that has all of my personal stuff in there. So what I think I'm going to do is actually get this room all ready and finished, and what that means is putting in a closet, which I'm going to put on this side right here, or at least build it out, and try to get as much of the blocking in and everything like that. That way this room can be officially done and I can move on to the next, bring all of that stuff in here, and then do the same over there. Over the weekend, I did release my video. I apologize that it was a day late, but I did read all the comments, and there was one comment that asked, what is left and what's the permit process like? So I figured I'd go over that right now. I guess I'll start with the easier thing, which is the permitting process. It was actually pretty basic. It was just as if I was redoing a typical home on the interior, and just needed to take the proper permits out for that. And for that, that was a building permit, a plumbing, electric, and HVAC, and then also a fire prevention permit, which I believe is a part of the building permit. So a while ago, before I did lay this concrete, I did have someone come in for a rough-in inspection of the drainage that I put in. The only reason why I wanted to do that early is because a lot of that drain, of course, was being covered by concrete, so I wanted to make sure I got the good to go before I had the concrete come in. What is left is a few things. One, the building permit. So when they come out, they're going to make sure everything is done correctly, or maybe make any suggestions or changes that I do need to do. And then I will have the plumbing come out. That is coming this week. So they are going to put in all the water lines and everything like that. After all of the framing is officially done, my buddy AJ, he's going to come out and add all the electric in. And then finally, I just need to add in a HVAC system, and I am going to do a Minisplit system in here. After all those things are done, I will have a rough-in inspection. So they are going to come in and again make sure everything is properly within code and everything like that. And then the next step is to do an insulation inspection. So after all of the electric is in, I can cover it correctly with insulation, rock wool, fiberglass, maybe some spray foam, anything like that. And then finally, once that is accepted, I can now put up all the drywall and everything and really do some of the finishes there. And then once I get the final inspection, then I'm good to go to get my certificate of occupancy, and I can officially move in here. One of the things I do want to note is I do want to get in here as soon as possible. So some of the things I might add in for finishes may be something that I get in quick and then upgrade after I'm officially in here. So what I mean by that is, let's say for the kitchen, I might put a butcher block countertop on because it's easy to cut and it's easy for something that I can take care of. The main goal, I would love to put in maybe a quartz countertop. So I may be putting in that butcher block in first, and then once I'm in here down the road, just get that covered and everything like that. So the bigger question is, what is left for me to do in here before I could take those next steps with all of the utilities? Well, one, this way, you probably can't see it on camera, I still have a garage door in here. So I do have the garage company coming out next week to release the spring. If you didn't watch the video, I had them do that on the other garage door, just because of, if you don't know what you're doing, it can be pretty dangerous. So I'd rather hire that out. So we do need to close that in, add in the front door, and then that is good to go. I would say I'm about 90% done with framing right now. So I need to put in a few closets. I need to finish the joists. And then, of course, I need to put in all of the blocking all over the building, just for some strength in the framing that I did put up. I think one thing to note when it does get to that point, if you have been following along this entire time, which I do appreciate, I actually have been doing really most of this all by myself. I think the one thing I'm going to hire out because, one, I'm not great at it, but two, the speed in which they will do it, I believe I actually am going to hire out for the drywall and the mudding. I think, one, they could probably get it done in a day, and I thought I'd go much faster with framing, but it has taken me a little bit longer than I thought. So I think once the insulation inspection is approved, I'm going to get them out, and that way we can get to the next space, which is adding in the kitchen and everything like that much faster. So instead of me continuing to ramble, let's get into at least finishing this bedroom. You can see that this joist is a little bit closer to this one. The main reason why I'm doing that is because rather than bringing up a piece of plywood, I brought up something much lighter and was able to kind of butt it against the roof line there. When I push the plywood up and meet the corner of the roof, I'll have something to screw into, so that way the floor is really strong even in the corners. All right, now that these are in, let's build out the closet for this bedroom. So the plan with both of the closets is I am actually going to put it right at the entrance when you come through the door here. I want to do that for two reasons. One, I do want to put the bed on that side here. And then also, when I do walk through this area right here, this wall that will be a part of the closet, this will be where the switches are. So you walk in and the switches are right in front of you, and you can turn everything up from there. So this is 84 1/4 long, and I'm going to do a 24-inch depth closet here. And so the other thing I'm going to do as well is I'm going to put a 60-inch double bifold door right here, and that way when you open it up, you have access to everything. So I'm going to frame everything out where I could fit that door in, and then as well give myself that clearance to make sure hangers and anything else can fit in that space there. It's a little bit darker. I did need to pick up a little bit more wood to finish this closet over here. And you'll notice I even have a little bit of a different jacket on. I figured I'd splurge a little bit. This is one of those heated jackets. So I figure before, the garage is covered, everything like that, this is really going to come in handy. So, it took me a little bit to grab everything, but let's go ahead, cut everything, and get this closet finished. Oh. Well, I just realized this is all that I have left here, and this is not going to fit this. So I did stop at Lowe's, and I forgot to pick this up. So I guess what we can at least do is get this into its spot and maybe lift it up just to see how it'll look. And I guess tomorrow morning I will pick some more up and get it officially into place. All right, at least this one's pretty light. All right, I made some marks. That wall there is 84 inches and a quarter. So we want this to end exactly there. And my marks are right about there. I shouldn't say right about, they actually are there. So let's get that knocked into place, and then we'll level it up there. Actually, before I knock that down, I have to put these on. Okay, so now we just gotta level that out and get that secured in there. Okay. So now, even though, again, I'm not going to secure this into place, we can see what it would look like. All right. Okay, it's kind of hard to imagine without, a door being here, but let me grab the camera. Now, when you walk in, you can step right here, turn on the light, and this will be the bedroom right here. And then again, when you come over, you'll have a nice closet. And the other thing too, I didn't hide the window or anything from there. And then I would like for the bedroom or the bed to be set up right over there. I definitely probably could have went with a smaller closet, but one of the main reasons why I did want to put a larger one in the guest room is because with my business, this will be pretty important storage for everything I need, whether it be supplies or even some inventory that I don't want to keep out in the storage container. So that is the ultimate decision, because that way also too I can keep this a guest room and it looks nice and presentable, and then I can kind of store everything away in here the best I can. One thing I'm also going to do in next video, I know it's getting a little late here, is where the angle of the roof is. I'm actually going to put some 2x4s or some sort of wood. That way I can connect it on that angle, so then the sheetrock is going to match and then go up, and that will be the straight ceiling there. I'm also going to do that on the other side as well, and I figure that might actually, I didn't necessarily mean to do that, but it will be a little cool feature in the bedrooms. So once the wall of the garage door, I keep calling it a garage door. So once the wall of the closet is secure, really the only other thing we need to do is block around the area, block the ceiling there, and then just do little touch-ups framing-wise so there is proper connections for drywall and everything. But we are pretty close to finishing that bedroom, and then on the opposite side, it's pretty much just gonna be a match. The only thing I need to do is just bring everything over into this room. One thing I didn't mention as well is for the hallway, I'm actually going to add an attic pull down to get into the loft space. This one up here, I'm probably going to put like a desk or maybe an editing situation, or even just to play video games and stuff up there. But I figured having that pull down right in the middle, and then I can go to the left to access, and then the right will be storage. On the other side here, because I'm probably going to maybe put a bed or something like that up there, I will probably situate the pull down maybe to the right over the dining room table, or somewhere else that's accessible. But I figured that was the best route to get up into the space, just because with these beams, you kind of have to like crawl underneath them, so that makes it much easier. So if you're not subscribed already, there is going to be a ton done next week. You know, I thought I knocked out a lot last video, but I have a feeling I'm going to get even more done in the next one. So please be subscribed if you're not already. We are going to have plumbing come out in the next video as well. And then I did schedule the garage person to come to release those springs next Monday. So that is going to be happening as well. We have a lot happening as we get very close to finishing this framing. I feel like, again, the light is small, but I can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel to get in here, which is very exciting for me. So if you've gotten this far, I truly appreciate you checking everything out. And if you could comment on the video, give me any suggestions, definitely hit a like. It helps with the algorithm and everything. And yeah, so again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.